An all too familiar scene for police officers and fire crews in North Yorkshire. Someone is trapped in a car after an accident involving a drink driver. Fortunately, this was just a training exercise at Harrogate Fire Station today, but it's something the emergency services expect to deal with on a daily basis.
Cars aren't normally on four wheels. We generally find them on the roof, on the side, in ditches and so on and so forth, and it makes it incredibly complex trying to get those people out. Sadly, not all of the incidents that we attend have happy outcomes and not everybody walks away.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The summer sunshine brings out the drinkers, and police know the World Cup means more people will be tempted to drive under the influence after watching a match with friends.
We are anticipating more of a problem during the World Cup period because it's a time in which people do go out and enjoy themselves, and we're just encouraging those people to think before they do that and plan how they're going to get home. If you're going to consume alcohol or even illicit drugs, please don't get behind the wheel.
At the launch of North Yorkshire Police's Summer Drink Drive campaign, my driving was put to the test on a simulator.
Stop.
Before I had a drink, I did well.
So overall stopping distance 37.3 metres,
Right.
which is excellent really.
So I had a go on the car simulator without a drink. Now it's time for a drink, and we'll see what happens. 2 glasses of wine later, things were not so good behind the wheel, and the breath test result shocked me.
You blew 0 before you started drinking, so let's see what...
Should I be worried now?
Very worried.
Right, we'll try it, OK.
You've failed. You've blown 37.
Right.
So we're now going to have to arrest you for drink driving.
Thankfully, I wasn't driving for real today, but it goes to show just how easy it is to fall foul of the law. Ian White, BBC Look North, Harrogate.
Well, Ian is with us now, along with Carol Whittingham from Brighouse. Carol, let's begin with you. You tragically lost your son, Stephen. Tell us about what happened to him.
Well, Stephen was actually about 200 yards from his own front door when his vehicle was hit by another vehicle travelling in excess of 80 miles an hour on the wrong side of the road. Obviously, it hit Stephen's car head-on, and the driver and his passenger both decided to leave the scene and just left my son to die in his car.
And obviously that's something that you have to live with for the rest of your life, and also the driver as well. It's not worth the risk, is it?
Absolutely not. We have been campaigning long and hard with the government to try and look at the amount of alcohol that people are allowed to drink and then drive. At present it's 2 units. We need to have it lowered because we need to move that grey area. People need to know that if they're going to be driving, they don't drink.
And Stephen died in 1992. Has much changed since then, do you think? Because there are tougher sentences.
There are tougher sentences, absolutely, but they're not given out, and that's the big problem. So the deterrent is there, but the magistrates and judges are not using the deterrent in order to send out a positive message that this is what's going to happen to you if you go out whilst you've been drinking and maybe injure or sadly kill somebody.
Let's move on to you, Ian. What have you learned today?
Well, Harry, I think it's very simple. I've learnt quite starkly, really, in fact, that there just is no safe limit. You just do not know whether you're over the limit or not. I mean, I had 2 medium-sized glasses of wine. I knew that probably wasn't very wise to drive after that, but for this experiment I blew 37. Now the legal limit's 35, so I was over that. That was you know, very, very quickly. We did another breath test about 20 minutes later, and that reading had dropped to 31. So there's all this uncertainty. It's a big grey area, and everybody's different. Everybody's bodies are different. People have eaten, maybe they haven't eaten. They exercise, they don't exercise, they're not well, so it can affect you in so many different ways.
Very quickly, Carol, with that in mind, what's your message to anyone who is thinking of going out, watching the World Cup and having a couple of drinks?
Go and enjoy yourself, enjoy watching the matches, cheering for your team, but make sure before you do any of that you've got to plan how you're going to get home safely, whether it's a taxi or a family friend picking you up, but you need to get home safely. Keep yourself and others safe is really the message we need to put out there.
Don't take that risk. Thank you, Carol, for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you.